Well, this story takes place in Indianapolis, where 16-year-old Hazel Grace attends to a cancer patient support group. Because of her cancer, she used a portable oxygen tank to breathe properly. In one of the meetings, she catches the eye of a teenager boy, and through the course of the meeting, she learns the boy's name is Augustus Waters. After the meeting ends, Augustus goes with Hazel and tells her she looks like Natalie Portman. He invites Hazel to his house to watch the movie, and while hanging out, the two discuss their experiences with cancer. Before Augustus takes Hazel home, they agree to read one another's favorite novel. Augustus gives Hazel The Prince of Down, and Hazel recommends An Imperial Affliction. Hazel explains the magnificence of An Imperial Affliction. It is a novel about a girl named Anne who has cancer, and it's the one account she reads of living with cancer that matched her experiences. She speculates about the novel mysterious author Peter Van Houten, who fled to Amsterdam after the novel was published and has been here from since. A week after Hazel and Augustus discuss the literary meaning of An Imperial Affliction, Augustus miraculously reveals he tracked down Van Houten's assistant. He shared Van Houten's letter with Hazel, and she devises a list of questions to send, hoping to clear up the novel's conclusions. Hazel is most concerned with the fate of Anna's mother. She figured that if Anna's mother survives her daughter's death, then her own parents will be alright after Hazel dies. Van Houten eventually replies, saying he could only answer Hazel's questions in person. He invites her to stop by if she is even in Amsterdam. In a picnic, Augustus reveals that a foundation gives wishes of a kid with cancer. He's taking the two of them to Amsterdam to meet Van Houten. He delivers Hazel another letter from Van Houten, this one more personal and more cryptic than the last one. After reading the letter, Hazel is more determined than even to go to Amsterdam. There is a problem. Her parents and her team of doctors don't think Hazel is strong enough to travel. But the Dr. Maria convinces Hazel's parents that Hazel must travel because she needs to live her life. The plans are made for Augustus, Hazel, and Hazel's mother to go to Amsterdam. But when Hazel and Augustus meet Van der Houten, they find that he's a drunk who cannot answer any of Hazel's questions. The following day, Augustus confesses Hazel his cancer has returned and spread everywhere. Augustus dies 8 days later. And a few days later, Isaac informed Hazel that Augustus was writing something for her. Eventually, Hazel learns that Augustus sent the pages to Van der Houten because he wanted Van der Houten to use the pages to compose a well writing about Hazel. This was definitely one of my favorite books because it talks about true love, and I love romance and all this stuff, but this book mixes love with tragedy that happened in real life. And I like this book because it's real and makes you realize what things worth it. John Green talks about diseases and love of the protagonist and make you feel in the skin of the patient. This is a really good book.